for a really good Maryland team. Obviously a team that's, as we all know, is good and long and talented and well coached and playing really good right now. I think you kind of expected that a little bit, that they would be galvanized after a couple departures. They're really playing well. So playing with great chemistry, great confidence, and Cowan is leading the way as he's done for a couple of years now. Fourth-year kid who's been a really good player for a long time. But it's not just him. Jalen Smith is playing really well, and then they've got guys like Wiggins and Shep. They've got a really good way about them right now. Questions?
So after the game, a couple of times you wanted to look at the tape before you came to any real quick conclusions about a lot of things. As you've digested that and looked ahead now, what have you learned about your team from the Wisconsin game that you think you can build on, you can use to help you win on Tuesday?
Yeah, I did some good things. I thought overall we did some good things in the game. Did not, we're not able to make enough plays there late. The offensive rebounds really hurt us.
You talked on your radio show about how your guards haven't been in some of these situations. They're in different roles. How have you seen them, I guess, work on that in practice? And how do you, aside from actually doing it in some of these games, how do you do that? How do you get that?
Yeah, we're trying to do some things in practice where we're putting them in some of those situations, late games, and see if they can make, or just coach them through making some of the right reads and some of the right plays. There is an experience element to it, but as coaches, I think we've got to get them as much experience as we can with those situations, because they're going to come up for sure.
Chris, what's the latest on Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle is day-to-day, game-to-game. I'm not really ready to make a statement on tomorrow's game with him. We'll see after today, but obviously it's a short turnaround after surgery, so we'll see.
Has he been cleared for contact at this point, or no?
He's today. It looks like we're going to see how he is today. He could potentially do some things today, but a lot of that's going to be based on his pain tolerance.
When you looked back at the film, was your game against Wisconsin better or worse than your initial impression of the game was?
I would think, I thought we did maybe a few things better than I thought just with the naked eye, but was still really disappointed in our rebounding and physicality in some areas.
Chris, if you're without Kyle tomorrow, or you still day-to-day, you're not sure yet, where is Ibrahima and his ability to give you, even if it's just a couple minutes off the bench, to give Caleb as well, give you some size and maybe some rebounding?
Yeah, I think rebounding is obviously a concern, and a concern with these guys. They're top 20 in the country in offensive rebounding. So we have thought about him, as well as maybe Zoe, one of those two guys, could see some minutes tomorrow if Kyle was out, and see if they can provide some rebounding. And then collectively, we just have to do a better job.
With both those guys, Zoe and Ibrahima, what is it that you need to see to feel comfortable to put them in, or just to feel when you're actually in the game? How does that play out?
Practice. I think the practice. Zoe's been, he's been in and out some with various kind of minor injuries and illness. So he practiced well yesterday. Just consistent practice. I don't think, neither guy is ready to give us great scoring punch, but they both, I think, could be very effective rebounders. So if they can come in and impact the game in that way, I think they can earn an opportunity.
EJ was very big at North Carolina. EJ was very good against Kentucky. Not to insinuate they wouldn't be good elsewhere, but those two games stick out. Given that, did you feel you were past the point of a kind of a performance both of them had the other night against Wisconsin?
Did I feel we were past that?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Why not?
Just coached freshman before, and seeing guys go through ups and downs, and I think the thing that it's really hard to make judgments until you see guys, go through the grind and the rigors of league play. I asked our staff today, I said, what was the most challenging non-conference schedule we played? And they said, well, this year for sure. I said, well, let's take a look at the numbers. The numbers would suggest that it was year one when everybody wrote us off. 4 NCAA tournament teams, 3 teams that were 5 seeds or better. All of them advanced. 2 of them went to the Sweet 16. People wrote us off when Clemson beat us here. Clemson was a Sweet 16 team. So my point in that is that the evaluations that are made in the analysis that's made in November and December, both individually and collectively, are a little premature. I get why they're made, but they're a little premature. I think we anticipated probably, and I think we played some good teams in the non-conference, but I doubt we played 3 teams that are gonna be 5 seeds or better in the NCAA tournament. I doubt that.
Really? Kentucky, North Carolina, Villanova?
Yeah, North Carolina won't be a 5 seed or better, I don't think. I mean, I hope for Roy's sake they are. I hope that, but, and I guess if Cole Anthony gets back, that's a possibility. But if you're, and you guys all follow college basketball closely, but let's be honest, it's not trending in that direction right now. That's hard to do. Three teams, Gonzaga and North Carolina. North Carolina that year was a 2 seed. Gonzaga that year was a 4 seed. Clemson was a 5 seed. Those are really good teams when you're that. And we were a good team too. We just didn't know it at the time.
That's the thing, is it feels different now because you created expectations with those 3 wins over whether North Carolina is North Carolina.
Right.
They are North Carolina.
Right.
In people's minds. And so if you come on and you're improving, people think you're fine.
Right.
You lose 2 in a row after beating those 3, people think, holy cow, what's going on? How would you characterize where you are? Are you struggling? Are you searching? Are you fine?
Yeah, I think it's a valid question, but I think it's a moving target in a lot of ways, and I think my point is that it's, we don't really know how good you are until I said this last week, until you get well into January, and obviously teams change and grow, but assumptions are made, and certainly all those teams you mentioned are good teams. But assumptions are made that are not always accurate, I guess was my point. And I think I'm really just assessing us from day to day and how we're moving forward in the target areas that we need to improve in. Beyond that, the wider scope of things, I'm not really concerned with right now.
Coach, you really, like you're just saying right there, all coaches seem to take more of the, guys, stop asking me questions about our ranking. It's December, we're not even at Christmas yet. You were really, I would say, pumping the brakes on that. Like, don't stop with the we're ranked in the top 5 and all that. It's nice, but long way to go. Like, have you had to maybe go to the team with that in the last couple games, or does it not have anything to do with that? Have you not used that approach?
Yeah, I think it might be a conversation. I've not yet. I think it might be a conversation worth having at some point. Some of that is trying to determine, how much they're feeling, and are they feeling overwhelmed by some of that, and trying to assess that, because that's what happened has happened. We played well against Villanova. Villanova's a good team, even though, Jay would be the first one to tell you they probably have some flaws. We won at North Carolina. We're not taking any of those wins and giving them up. But I think if I sense that our guys are feeling whatever, then we'll have that conversation. But really, I'm trying to just keep them focused on, you know, the day-to-day. I think there's probably a greater understanding among our young guys at how competitive Big Ten play is and how good our league is. And the reality is, it's certainly this week, it's not getting any easier.